I think that Charlotte Phoenix, it's going to be a difficult matchup, but I think eventually they will end up finding the win.
All right, we'll find out shortly here. Game number 1, Space Station Gaming versus Charlotte Phoenix.
All right, let's see if Space Station Gaming can survive the onslaught, as Charlotte Phoenix have left the game, so we're going to have to remake here. It's not a defeat if you leave before the gates open. So obviously something there not going too well for them, but we'll be getting the next game set up as soon as possible. It's still nice as a little peek just to see what comps they're playing. So as expected, the Rogue Mage Paladin and the Windwalker Elemental Paladin. I'm not...
2 stickers.
I kind of agree with...
you.
Oh, but I didn't even get time to guess. I didn't even get time to guess.
You didn't shoot your shot.
That's fine.
You told me not to talk over him.
It's true. You're right. Do you want a sticker?
I want a pity sticker.
Okay. I'll see what I can do. Go ahead, Ben.
I'm actually wondering if, even though they left the game, we can take a look at what builds are. No, we can't, unfortunately. No, come on. That would have been an interesting thing to talk about, but I mean, Space Station Gaming traditionally, with this composition, they favor heavy resilience, or not resilience, I keep saying resilience, but versatility. Heavy versatility to give them really high damage reduction, and it just makes them really durable against Rogue's Kidney Shot, less susceptible to just dying outright in stuns. So I think for the Charlotte Phoenix, what they need to focus on is just good, consistent pressure in the match. Running the Maledict, I think, is a great option. I think they should overwhelm with Maledict. And if I was Jamilian in the situation, I'd run the Obsidian Claw and the Maledict Trinket, because if Smexon is running, Dark Iron Dwarf, or he's running just regular Dwarf to remove those magic effects, he's only going to be able to remove one, and at least you get value out of one of the trinkets. And I think it would be really, really important for them to actually secure a kill. So that's what I hope they do, but we'll see.
Yeah, we should see here. Now, the game is actually starting up for real this time. Game number 1, Space Station Gaming versus Charlotte Phoenix.
Well, let's see how they get it done here. Charlotte Phoenix, man. This Rogue Mage Paladin can be scary, but Space Station Gaming, one of the most solid defense in North America. So let's see, offense versus defense. They're playing Spite into a Paladin. This could be a risky strategy, but it could have a big payout. Grecki Trinkets into a Kidney Shot. They're going straight for the Paladin. All-out aggression, combustion pop. Smexon tries to strip it off with some purges, but he's not finding it. Grecki's under fire. Pitches a big heal just in the nick of time with that Vitality Conduit. However, he is susceptible to blind moving forward, and Finley's playing Relentless, although I believe he's human, so he will have every man for himself. No smoke bomb opportunities there. Curious to see if Charlotte Phoenix continue tunneling the Paladin, or they switch with blind moving forward.
Yeah, we're going to see. That was a pretty decent opener for Charlotte Phoenix. They would have loved if they could get the bubble right there. I almost would have liked it if Nick just Trinket a defensive, burnt his Vanish as well, and then Gorecki would be in a pretty much checkmate position. But now we have turned our attention to the DPS here. Smexon already throwing out some heals. They can't get the resheep. Nice wind shear there by Smexon. Nice positioning there as well. Gorecki is kind of stacked up with Smexon. He snipes out a nice Repentance here, looking to get some counter pressure. John going after Jamili. He takes a massive Earth Shock to the face. Nice blink there on the Ring of Peace before he gets pinned into the wall. And now his healer is out of crowd control. Corlic's going to be able to power out a lot of heals here. And it's going to look good here. Big damage onto Nick behind the pillar. Sacrifice trades out there from Corlic. So a lot of cooldowns being forced. And now they're looking to go after Gorecki here once again. Kidney Shot comes out from Nick. Do we have any more stuns? They do. Sheep Shot into the Garrote Silence. And he's just dead because he used that Blessing of Protection on himself. And he had that Forbearance, so he couldn't bubble. Excellent opener here from Charlotte Phoenix.
That
what an
was actually
explosive
insane.
first game. Go ahead, Ben.
Yeah, I was gonna say, for Charlotte Phoenix, they when we go ahead and we'll look at the replay of that game, there was no combustion, there was no vendetta, just outright sheer aggression and consistent damage coming in from the side of the Charlotte Phoenix. And I think going after Gorecki, he's a major pressure point in the match. We talked about in the early stages of the game. For Chun-Li, he's running max versatility. For Smexon, he's running max versatility as well. So not the greatest targets, but that ineffable Truth Paladin, definitely a good option for them. And you can see that they were able to just kind of push him over after he used his Blessing of Protection to remove Spite.
You can, of course, check out their gear at awc.gcd.tv or check out the bottom bar down below this YouTube video here. Is there something then that you'd rather see Space Station Gaming run in terms of gear, Ben?
I don't think so. I think they actually Gorecki. I think you have to play Ineffable Truth. Yeah, I think he's doing everything right. I think the only adaptation we need to see, I think just for safety reasons, Chun-Li has to play Ride the Wind. So it needs to give up Alpha Tiger as, kind of extra offense, play Ride the Wind, and then all of a sudden Spite is completely negated. I think that's the only thing that he needs to do. And if they make that change, then the Charlotte Phoenix and using Spite won't really work. And because of that, I feel like Charlotte Phoenix isn't going to play Spite next game. I think they just wanted, quick win with that trinket, and they'll probably just abandon that because they can win without it.
Is there any world where we would see a Holy Paladin not running Ineffable Truth? Like, it's just too good not to play if you're a Holy Paladin,
You have to play some
right?
of it. You can't drop it entirely. You have to play
Yeah.
some of it. It's just how much of it versus versatility. Like, Gorecki went half and half, which I think was respectable choice on his part against Rogue Mage, because it is notorious for going after Paladins. The only thing is he was playing Repentance, and he has Paralyzed Diminishing Return and Hex Diminishing Return already on the team. I'm curious what they were really hoping to get done with that, because usually you want Blinding Light, and you just got Hammer Justice Blinding Light, so maybe that would be the only thing I would change, is he switches his talent from Repentance to Blinding Light. But it seems like if we see Charlotte Phoenix this aggressive and like on point, like, this is going to be terrifying. Maybe Chun-Li needs to consider, no, maybe not Chun-Li, but maybe Smexen considering dropping some versatility. But it's tough because if he's a target, like, if he's not full Versa, maybe he just falls over. I just, if they don't have another threat and they could just tunnel Gorecki as they did, I don't know if this comp's going to work out.
And if they do decide on the side of Charlotte Phoenix that they're going to drop out of, they're going to stop using that Spite trinket, what do you think we'll see in place of that, Zico? Any guesses?
I would say we're probably just going to see standard damage trinkets. Nick probably going to roll with the Dress the Gath Jaw, probably going to run, a Claw. Corlick maybe runs a Claw as well, and they're going to have just triple unused damage trinkets. But I don't know, maybe... Well, if Chun goes Ride the Wind, then Spite is completely negated. If he doesn't go Ride the Wind, then it's kind of nice for them. If they didn't go Spite, then Chun didn't go Ride the Wind. So it's a bit of a mind game right now between Chun and Charlotte Phoenix.
Always interesting to see during the draft process here what exactly, or at least speculate what's going on through these players' head here. Going into game number 2, we're going to be going to Black Rock Hold. That's the map choice here from Spacestation Gaming and their composition. You can see here on our screens, Ellie Windwalker once again. Does this change anything here, Ven? What do we feel like their strategy is going into game 2 on the side of Spacestation Gaming now that we see the comps and the map?
Well, I mean, Spacestation Gaming, their strategy against Rogue Mage is pretty much always the same. It's you see Gorecki, well, honestly, all three of them, but mostly Gorecki and Smexen just focus on living. Chun-Li basically playing a bruiser for their team, just trying to find moments of opportunity and bursts, just shutting down the crowd control. And they're all about just living, doing damage, and then eventually finding a kill. Whereas for Charlotte Phoenix, they're all about trying to get those setups. If they can get the setups and it's undisrupted, then they will win the game. So Spacestation Gaming, they have to be on point with their disruption. They have to be on point with finding those moments of offense. And if they're not, they will end up losing this game. So it's a difficult spot to be in, but if they execute perfectly, I think they can win.
Yeah, and if you guys remember right, the Spacestation Gaming was this map against the Unitas that we saw Oxygen pinned in that starting room with that Ring of Peace, and certainly an unfortunate end for that series here. But game number 2 starting on Black Root called Charlotte Phoenix up 1-0 against Spacestation Gaming.
So in this map, I think Spacestation Gaming are going to either try and bait Nick in the room and then switch to him in a Lightning Lasso, or if they just play back, wait for dampening, keep Flame Shock up, try and run Corley out of mana, play for an elongated match. At the moment, they got Consecration on the right door here, so they run over that yellow on the ground. They'll be pulled out of stealth. They're just guarding the room with Spinning Crane Kick on the left, and they do find Nick here at the start. Jamili mounts up to get right on top of Gorecki here, potentially riding a Phoenix mount. I like it when they get mounts to synergize with their team orgs. Jamili caught in a Lightning Lasso, and this is such a good map for Lightning Lasso. Look where Smexen could go. He starts the cast in line of sight, then runs into the starting room and still gets the full channel. So it's definitely a good map for their comp. That's why they have a 5-0 record on it. Can Charlotte Phoenix break that 5-0 record?
Let's find that out. Right now, Gorecki is kind of stuck in this Ring of Frost here. Him and Smexen are just kind of buddies right there, and they can't really move, do anything, and Gorecki, as a result of that, is going to get stuck up there in a polymorph. Nice leg sweep coming out of Chun, trying to turn that setup on its head. They're doing a lot of damage to Jaw, but Corlick just free healing right now, going to be able to keep Jaw nice and topped. And here we go. So the crowd control being engaged by Gorecki. There it is. Hammer of Justice, Repentance, nice blink counterspell from Jamili. And that means that they're not going to have the crowd control they're looking for. Now Corlick is going for crowd control. They get a nice Hammer of Justice. Pre-Vitality comes out onto Smexton into a blinding light. And Jaw is going to go for the resheep onto Shan and then swap it over to Gorecki. But nicely done there by Smexton with the wind share. Nick gets the sap right there. Can he get anything more? Nick going for the reset, but he gets disarmed by Chun. Vivify is coming out. Excellent defense from Space Station Gaming. A lesser team would have had to use a Mind Shield or a Trinket right there in the sacrifice, but Gorecki, he gets away with only using the sacrifice due to that defense from Chun and Smexen.
Yep, great job there. And Space Station Gaming, now they got to focus on offense. After they live, we got to focus on that offense. But Charlotte Phoenix right now, they seem to still be in the driver's seat. A full blind on Gorecki. He immediately trinkets out, so not wanting to fall behind. And now a big hit here on Nick. Justigath is going to be landing. Nick opting to trade out the feint. Really no big deal there for Nick in order to survive. Corlick was in a prime position with his Avenging Wrath and was able to heal through the burst. And that really is the problem. I mean, the one thing for Space Station Gaming and their composition is they lack crowd control on Corlick. So for the most part, their win condition revolves around being really, really late in the game, since they're not going to be able to actually get control on the healer. And here's another setup, full polymorph on Gorecki. He's got no trinket, but he has a divine shield. And Smexen is basically caught all alone. Double cheap shot going out. Grapple weapon now onto Nick. And Smexen's on the run. You can see Chun-Li, he's throwing in the Expel Harms, he's throwing in the Vivifies, trying to just buy Gorecki a little bit more time while he's in crowd control to actually get out some healing, and it will fade. And it looks like Gorecki will be pushing for crowd control of his own, getting a Hammer of Justice on a Corlick, and now actually going aggressive here on a Jamili.
Well, let's see if he can stay on target. Smex is getting pushed back. Gorecki's interrupted into a polymorph. Beautiful chain by Charlotte Phoenix. However, Gorecki did intercept with a Vitality Conduit that's healing Smexen. If that didn't land, I mean, that might have been lights out. It might still be lights out even with the Vitality Conduit. Smexen really far on the back foot. Gorecki bombs in a big heal. Jamili getting pressured by Chun-Li. Chun-Li versus Jamili. Nick versus Smexen on Blackrook Hold Arena. Space Station Gaming cannot afford to lose this series. If they do, they will not be able to make top 4. It will have been decided. But if they win this series, they could totally blow North America wide open and potentially even get a 3-way tie. So let's see if Space Station Gaming can pull it off. It's against all odds here with Charlotte Phoenix's Rogue Mage Paladin being quite a titanic team. As we see Space Station Gaming repositioning to the opposite starting side. Chun-Li still in an aggressive position. Paralyzes Corlick. He's got Jamili at the pillar. Nick still going at Smexen. But Gorecki's getting a lot of heals in the back line. Looks stable. Nice damage on Jamili. Bigger shock hit. Corlick does not have Avenging Wrath for 30 seconds at this point, so if they can keep building momentum off this, it would be nice. Corlick's pushing on top of Gorecki. Which Paladin's going to get that Hammer of Justice first? Ice Blink counterspell by Jamili. He's getting spicy. That combustion popped. They trade out Vitality Conduit. Gorecki was patient and saved that, so he knew he could get interrupted, but this is a really long crowd control chain right now. Chun-Li gets interrupted. They grapple weapon. They try and stabilize. They go for a Lightning Lasso counter push over onto Nick. Is it going to be enough? Doesn't look like Nick's going to be going down. And man, Gorecki has been in crowd control for like 20 seconds straight at this point. A Garrote Silence, that could just be it in game 2. Gorecki has to Divine Shield sacrifice right at the final second. But Gorecki and Smexen and Chun-Li made Charlotte Phoenix work for that.
That was an excellent push right there. Clean crowd control there. Jamili actually blinked the Ring of Peace to land that Ring of Frost. Excellent play there from him. And now he's going to Dragon's Breath the images. They get a full blind onto Gorecki. Kidney Shot secured onto Smexen. And here comes the damage. Meteor comes crashing in. They get the sap out of the blind. He saps the trinket here. Nick making some work here. Ja can't get the sheep here in time. Nice paralyze onto Ja. He's not going to be accessing any of that damage. And Vitality Conduit will come out. Chun once again saving the day here. Big swap opportunity here onto Gorecki. They're going to take it. Blessing of Protection being forced out here as well. Ja actually steals it. Goes for the Dragon's Breath. More damage. Repentance in the room, but he should be in the spell range. Lightning Lasso coming out onto Nick here. Big damage onto both of these members, but I would say I'm worried about Smexen. No real defense on the side of Space Station Gaming. The next time Corlick gets a blinding light and Jamili has a sheep there, it's gonna be lights out here for Smexen potentially.
Oh, definitely. I mean, in that last attempt, they got basically everything from Gorecki. They got Blessing of Protection, Divine Shield, Trinket, Avenging Wrath, Sacrifice. So right now, Charlotte Phoenix, they are looking good. Smexen, however, does have his Astral Shift, so he has that big defense cooldown available. Polymorph out onto Chun-Li. Jamili looking for Polymorphs, but unfortunately unable to find it. Actually just going after Gorecki. Blinding Light on Smexen. He gets interrupted as well. Gorecki all by himself. He's isolated. And now into a Hammer of Justice. Do they have the damage to actually take him down? He's getting lower and lower. Charlotte Phoenix are so close. Can they take him down? Divine Favor. Big heal coming in from Gorecki, and he will manage to hold on. But nice attempt there by the Charlotte Phoenix. If they just had the slightest bit more damage, it would have been 2-0 in favor of them. But Spacestation Gaming managed to hold on.
That was all Smexen. He bombed in 4 healing surges. Gorecki would have died in a stun if Smexen didn't save him right there. So Charlotte Phoenix now swapping to Smexen with a big smoke bomb vendetta. Looking to take game 2. Is it enough time? Chun-Li supports Smexen, but he saps Gorecki with the smoke bomb line of sight. This could be a KO for Smexen. Astral Shift about to fade. Polymorph for follow-up. The counter-aggress Nick. Nick suddenly explodes while he was pushing for the kill, but now he's recovered. Smexen still on the back foot. Gorecki finally out of control, crowd control. And stabilizing, man, that was back and forth in those couple of seconds. Nick now with no Gladius Medallion could be susceptible to a Lightning Lasso, but still, at least Gorecki has been playing this expertly. He's got his Gladius Medallion sacrifice to trade for another chain. He's definitely not panicked at any moment, even though it would have justified some panic here. Full blind, Gorecki trinkets. Smexen gets blasted down by Jamili's combustion. Tons of pyros coming in. Not enough damage to take him out. Smexen repositions in the room. He's got that Stormkeeper lined up, comboing it with some Lava Burst. Big lightning bolts in onto Jamili, but Corlic's not crowd control. He'll pick him up. Double leg sweep. Nice punish by Chun-Li. Storm Earth and Fire Fist of Fury hitting 2 players. Corlic going to respect that push with a sacrifice, Avenging Wrath. More likely trying to hold on to his mana because Spacestation Gaming have a massive lead in that regard.
Yeah, and we're going to see another swap attempt here onto Gorecki. No trinket, no bubble for 5 more seconds. Big damage coming out. He might just have to instantly use it. Smexen gets sheeped on the heels. Jamili throwing out a couple of fireballs. Nick is going to be, unfortunately, grounded from that room. Gorecki locks the door, and he is chilling in there. Going to be healing himself back up to full. Utilizing the map pretty well so far. He's going to have his Divine Shield and Sacrifice for the next attempt here, which probably is going to happen onto Smexen, judging by the positioning right now. But I don't know, Chun could also be a target. They have some Blessings of Protection if they want to remove the Karma, if they want to go for a swap. Right now, Lightning Lasso coming out. Gorecki looking for some Repentance. It doesn't look like he's going to find it. He gets Hammer of Justice on, and Ja is there, looking for the Ring of Frost. He does get it. Big grapple weapon onto Smexen. Chun looking for some defense, going for the Vivifies, and he should be finding them. Nick not going to have his kick available here. Smexen still dangerously low. Nice polymorph there from Ja. Can he keep the chain going? They get the Garrote Silence, but it overlaps a little bit with that DR poly, and that's going to be enough for the Vitality Conduit to come through in this little room here. And Nick taking a huge hit right there as you Trinket, Call of Shadows, everything. Actually, just Trinket and the Feint right there, but still a lot of the, burst potential on both of these teams.
I mean, Chun-Li, he's just balancing defense and offense so beautifully in this match. He's finding these moments of opportunity to burst down Nick, and every single one of these attempts, he's the one who's stopping the crowd control from Jamili. He's the one that's throwing in the off-heels to keep Smexen alive. He's the one getting the grapple weapon on Nick once again. And it looks like Smexen will be able to hold on. Trinket coming in from Gorecki. He does, of course, have the Sacrifice and Divine Shield. And now, look at this. Spacestation Gaming, they're getting to their win condition. Corlic's mana is not looking good. A full Hammer of Justice lands. Chun-Li looking to take down Jamili. He gets a Spear Hand Strike. Can he get the Cauterize? Can he get the Ice Block? A beautiful Ring of Peace out of the Paralyze as well, knocking Corlic out of line of sight. Such beautiful plays coming in from Spacestation Gaming. Chun-Li, let's see if he can pull off this upset.
He's pretty close. As close as it comes, really, if they can keep this pressure up. Corlic, absolutely no mana left. Nick, with not much defense. Spacestation Gaming just need to stay in orbit a little bit longer. Corlic's charging in. Blinding Light. This is a big power play by Charlotte Phoenix. It could be one of the last ones they get in game 2. Chun-Li denies it with a grapple weapon on Nick. Smexen trades with Astral Shift. They punish with the double leg sweep. Corlic breaks out, goes for the Hammer of Justice. They're still trying to push through the pain and take down Smexen in this starting room, but stacking up in the starting room could be devastating for the amount of counter pressure Chun-Li can dish out. Ring on the bomb, knocking Nick away. Polymorph for 1 more second. 1 more second, a 2-second Dragon Smith Divine Shield Sacrifice. Yeah, he trades it out at literally the last second. He tried to greed that out to the absolute maximum on Spacestation Gaming's side. They do stay alive, but it costs them basically everything.
Yeah, and now Smexon has his trinket, but that's about it. He needs to trinket and stop the setup before it even happens. He needs to instantly trinket the kidney, and if his healer is in CC when he gets kidneyed, then it's not going to be a great situation. But Korlik has no mana left. Nick taking huge hits here. Nick, though, has his trinket. He's feeling safe. He's feeling confident. There's the counterspell. They're pushing in. Gorecki, no Vitality Conduit. Cheap onto Shan. There's the Ring of Frost. Nice knock there by Smexon. The only reason why he's still alive here, he still needs to stop the Ring of Frost from Jaw and still needs to stop the Sheep. They get the Sap instead from Nick. Herald comes out. Resap there. Actually, resheep onto Shan. Big damage coming out. John's trying to swap it here onto Gorecki. On his trinket, actually, he gets it, but Vitality Conduit sneaks through the cracks with that trinket, and now Gorecki has his sacrifice as well, so if he can pre-sack, he's going to be in a great spot. Jaw getting swapped to this has got to be his ice block here. He takes so much damage. Korlik with the Avenging Wrath, big Divine Fave, but at this point in dampening, it's not that big, those wings, but he doesn't have any mana to actually heal with them, and right now, it looks like Charlotte's Phoenix are just on the brink of defeat here. Nick's taking massive damage. Jaw can't really get topped off. And here's the wings as well. So when this runs out, I think it's over. They have to kill right now, Sid.
Yeah, they really do. Yeah. Let's see if they can push them over. Gorecki's in a polymorph. Nick in a lightning lasso for a turnaround. Korlik denies it, but look at the mana bar. Then it's completely empty.
Yeah, it definitely is, and we got a full blind right now out on the Gorecki. He does have the Blessing of Protection, the Astral Shift. They don't want to overlap too much. Smexon getting a little bit low. He's trying to run away, but at the same time, I mean, Charlotte Phoenix, they're falling apart. They're trying to take down Smexon. They don't have much time left. Korlik, no mana left, no cooldowns left whatsoever. A blind now onto Gorecki as they continue the crowd control chain, and at this point in dampening, really anyone can fall. I mean, Jamili, he does have his combustion. Ventetta's rotating back up. Jamili just has to hold on a little bit longer, and I think Charlotte Phoenix, they can overwhelm. They get the counterspell, beautiful counterspell, but somehow Smexon manages to stay alive. I think it was the Vitality Conduit, and now Chun-Li with a big Fist of Fury trying to reverse the pressure, getting a little bit of damage on Jamili, a little bit of damage onto Nick, but it's still Smexon who's way behind. He trinkets out a full polymorph, lands on Gorecki, and Smexon, there's no way he's going to survive. Beautiful game coming in for both these teams, but once again, it will be the Charlotte Phoenix who pull out ahead.
Wow, Korlik pretty much out of mana there. They still were able to secure that victory onto Smexon. Oh, are they getting a cross kill here?
I mean, if Avenging Wrath ends literally right now, which it doesn't look like it is, yeah, Chun-Li's, there's no way. His Touch of Death got polymorphed. I mean, I don't blame him for playing it out because it is a situation where it could happen, but Charlotte Phoenix are doing exactly what they need to do to stop it from happening, which is just polymorph Chun-Li. Don't let him hit. Actually, pre-karma. There's a bop. There's no way. Chun is done. Oh, they're still trying.
Nice rhyme.
Chun is done, but I think that's it. They've run out of fun.
Wow.
Maybe not actually.
You don't think it's over, Zico?
Yeah, I'm trying to make it exciting here. Well, actually, I'm not sure. It's too close to call right now, but I think it's kind of over.
I mean,
here we go. Kidney shot onto Chun-Li. Polymorph on a Gorecki. He's just going to use a Divine Shield. They're actually just going for it. It will be Nick a full Hammer of Justice into a Repentance, but Nick is just on the run. The thing is, at this point in the game, they're actually just going to give up. At this point of the game, the reason why we kind of just said that one was over, for Charlotte Phoenix, Nick just runs and restells. Jamili just spams Polymorphs and Dragon's Breath. It's really difficult for Chun-Li to actually get any damage rolling. So at that point, it's over. But honestly, in the 3v3, that was an incredible match. Really close calls. Space Station Gaming, they were so close. Charlotte Phoenix, they had no cooldowns. They had no mana to really work with. But the damage is just overwhelming on Smexon, and Gorecki just fell way too far behind.
I mean, how were they not able to secure a kill on the side of Space Station Gaming? You can see here Korlik completely out of mana, Jamili running low here, and Smexon still went down.
This is the poly here. Well, once they get this Dragon's Breath poly here, it just kind of sets up the rest of the game. At this point, the only defense they had was a pre-sack, and Gorecki probably should have sacked before he tried to run across. Small error there, but I don't know. They played an insane game to even get to that point, so I don't know how much I can say that's Gore's fault.
All right, match results on the screen here, Ven.
I mean, you can take a look at interrupts. So massive interrupts coming in from Smexton and Chun-Li. That's one of the nice things about the Windwalker Monk and the Elemental Shaman. Very disruptive. Look at their damage. They did a ton of damage. Here's the thing they're lacking. They're lacking crowd control. So Corley's going out of mana is because he's just able to free heal the entire game, whereas Gorecki, he's just in crowd control the entire game. And there's going to be massive off heals. I mean, if you take a look at the healing from Chun-Li and Smexton, it was quite high in that game. So they basically have 3 healers on their team. Gorecki gets to regen mana while he's in crowd control, as well as Korlik. He's just burning through his mana the entire game. There's no crowd control whatsoever. But the thing is, healers right now, especially Paladins, their throughput and their defensive cooldowns are so strong that without crowd control, it is extremely difficult. Unless you're just one-shotting with Dressigath, your consistent damage really isn't going to find a kill unless he's absolutely zeroed out on cooldowns and zeroed out on mana.
Mm-hmm. If Spacestation Gaming was able to hold out just a little bit longer in the end there for game number 2, do we feel like that would have ended in a victory for Spacestation Gaming, considering the resources left on the side of Charlotte Phoenix Eco?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's hard to say because, it's Rogue Mage. They can always just surprise burst somebody down, but definitely looked like it was in their favor. Gore had like 70% mana. He had a sacrifice. His bubble was coming back up. Like, cooldown-wise, they were looking pretty good, and Charlotte Phoenix were not. But they still had, like, Ice Block, I think, on Jamili, so it wasn't the worst position in terms of defense for Charlotte Phoenix, but definitely I would say that Space Station had the edge there if they did survive there.
All right, well, now we're going to be going to Ashamane's Fall here. Charlotte Phoenix locking in their same composition here. Space Station Gaming, now about a minute left to choose what they're going to do here, what their next move is. Do we expect them to change out their composition at all, Stupides? Or, never mind here, we're going to be going to Smexton and Shun on the Ellie Windwalker. Gore staying on that Holy Paladin here, going to Ashamane's. Quite a bit different of a map with compared to Blackroot Cold here. What do you think they're thinking then, Stupides?
They're just trying to dampen. They saw that game play out. If they can live long enough, Korlik will run out of mana, so they pick a dampened map. What I love that Charlotte Phoenix did in this series was playing Spite in the first game means that Chun-Li is now just down in honor talent because he doesn't know if Charlotte Phoenix are going to play Spite or not. So he has to pick Ride the Wind, which is like not really great. It's okay, I guess, but I feel like he could get more value from something else than just the Ride the Wind. So that mind game play, like you don't normally pick Spite into a Paladin, but now because they did, Chun-Li's just playing with a slight disadvantage in that regard. I mean, Space Station Gaming need to play a solid defense for probably 16 minutes. I think it's 60. It's a 16-minute game if they win.
That is a very specific number, Sid.
16 minutes minimum if they want to win.
Okay. Would it
I feel
not
like you
be...
just added like a minute on the last game.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, that's what I did. That's exactly what I did. If they stayed alive for another minute last game, they would have won. So 16 minutes.
Okay, all right.
It's good
checks
analysis.
out.
Some fair logic. I like it. All right. Well, Space Station Gaming here really need to turn this one around here if they want to try and win this series. This is match point for Charlotte Phoenix. They're up 2-0 currently, going into game number 3 on Ashamane's. This mind game that you were talking about, Sid, with Spite Trinket, it's really cool. You're so right that they played it in game number 1. Now Chun-Li not really sure what to do here. Would it not be worth the trade-off of them maybe reducing, like we've seen some other teams do in these situations, reducing the amount of corruption that they're running?
No way. They can't. Gorecki, no one on that team can afford to not have maximum versatility against Rogue Mage. Like even if it is Spite and they're lower corruption, like they'll just die to Rogue Mage. Even if there's no way they need that much versatility as the comp that they're playing. They're just going to have to never make a mistake for 16 minutes straight. And Charlotte Phoenix will probably have to make some mistakes, I think, for them to lose this matchup. So this is just the toughest game of their life. And they don't qualify to top 4 if they don't win. So viewers at home, we can all be happy about this level of intensity. If I was Space Station Gaming, I'd be freaking out. But this is definitely quality entertainment.
And you can tell by the amount of time that they've taken through this draft process just how much these teams are talking over their strategy going into this next game. But it's Charlotte Phoenix here on match point 2-0 versus Space Station Gaming.
All right, 2-0. Space Station Gaming's hopes and dreams of lifting off to the championship bracket relies on this game. They are on match point against Charlotte Phoenix. Charlotte Phoenix They've had a dominating series. They've had a dominating season so far, and they are looking to close it out here on the last day.
Oh, no.
In style. Smexin is DC'd. Go, pop combustion, maybe pop everything on him. They're going for it.
No.
See the opener here. What? They're gonna wait? What?
I respect that. I like.
What do they get if they
point,
win? Wait a minute. What do they get if they win? Charlotte
Pop
Phoenix
everything.
win?
This is a tournament game.
Charlotte Phoenix
Everything's on the
are
line.
Charlotte
Stickers
Phoenix
are on the line, man.
Charlotte Phoenix could get a tie for second, or guarantee, or possibly lock in second place, which is a huge amount of money.
I'm really happy to see this level of sportsmanship, to be honest with you. I mean, Charlotte Phoenix right now, they're already in a position where it looks like they are going to be, doing okay. And I think they're happy to just play it out normally. Don't want to, cheapen their win as well, because if they win in that way, there's always going to be those questions. If Spacestation Gaming could have maybe come back in the series, I like that they're waiting personally. Well, hopefully Smexin can get back in the game as soon as possible.
In Europe, this would never happen. They would have already popped Incarn, Combust, any cooldown. Smexin is back though, so it doesn't matter. And kudos to Charlotte Phoenix here, playing it clean, waiting for Smexin. Hopefully, it doesn't come back.
The only thing is, he probably doesn't have frames. Like when that happens, usually you lose your frame. Did someone else drop?
I don't think so. Maybe they're waiting for his trinket.
Maybe are they asking to remake the game? Maybe, I don't know what they're doing. Maybe
honestly, they might just be waiting for the Gladiator's Medallion to come back up, because when you DC and you reload, it uses the trinket, and that's a pretty important part of Spacestation Gaming's defense. So I think they're just going to be waiting.
This is good for Spacestation Gaming, isn't it? This is just 3 minutes where they don't need to worry about rotating their cooldowns. I mean,
I don't know. I don't think it's going to give any team a massive advantage or disadvantage just waiting the first couple minutes of the game. Likely, what I think is as soon as Smexin's Gladiator's Medallion is off cooldown, they're instantly going to start going head-to-head. And I feel like dampening is kind of a double-edged sword, because although that seems to be the win condition for Spacestation Gaming, as soon as Charlotte Phoenix gets into dampening, Smexin has a really hard time keeping himself alive just with the off-heals of Chun-Li.
All right, they're gonna they're making it as if the gates have opened, I guess. Like they're gonna just that's what it looks like. That's what are they gonna wait there for dampening and then run out of the gates? Maybe they're waiting for 3 minutes on the dot and then they're gonna run out. Let's see. This is the most odd game I've ever seen now from the start of that. I'm trying to think strategy advantage to waiting. Like, it has to be more beneficial for Spacestation Gaming for time to go by. So it looks like they're gonna start. Jamili's in stealth, Nick is in stealth. So I mean, Smexin got combat from Corlick, so there's not gonna be a sap. They're gonna have to start with stun locks. They're moving right on top of Gorecki. Blind, open on Smexin. Combustion instantly pulled from Jamili. Chun-Li going to paralyze it right away. Gorecki trinkets to reverse. Hammer of Justice. Repentance. Not looking for it right now. Jamili going to Temporal Shield. Soak all the damage here from the Storm, Earth, and Fire. Still going after Smexin out in midfield. And it looks like we're going back to more of a standard match at this point.
Ooh, they secure a counterspell onto Gorecki. Sheep onto Chun-Li. Where's the cross CC? They get the Hammer of Justice. Nice lightning lasso there, Jaw. Going for the Ring of Frost. They're going to go for the Blinding Light, but now Chun is out of crowd control. He gets Sheep, Jaw. Looking for the Ring of Frost, cross crowd control. He barely sneaks it in time here. Smexin already has to use Astral Shift. Vendetta is rolling. Jaw looking for more crowd control, but he gets Wind Sheared by Smexin. That means the chain is going to be broken, and they trade Vendetta for Astral Shift and Stoneform. So not the worst opener here for Charlotte Phoenix, but definitely not what they would have forced if they popped everything when Smexin was DC'd. Nick now getting Lightning Lasso. He pre-feints it. He gets dressed though. Takes a big hit there. Nice Dragon's Breath here onto the images and Smexin. Nick holding on for a little bit longer. Paralyzed coming out from Chun. Big damage here. Nice snowball on the images as well. Ja really peeling up that situation. And now the Rogue Mage is looking to get aggressive here, man.
Yeah, they definitely are. Let's see what happens. Full polymorph once again onto Gorecki. A full kidney shot onto Smexin. Is this going to be the Divine Shield? Are they going to force the Divine Shield? They get the Divine Shield and the sacrifice in the nick of time. And Gorecki barely keeping Smexin alive there. And Charlotte Phoenix, they're on a roll right now. Look at Corlick. He has every single defensive cooldown. Charlotte Phoenix are looking good if they can continue this assault. This next push, an interrupt actually on a Gorecki. That's a great way to start it. Kidney shot on Smexen. Any crowd control. Can we see it? A blinding light. This could just be the game right here, right now. Charlotte Phoenix, they want to close it out. A full polymorph lands. Smexen, how are you going to live? Lightning Lasso comes in, paralyzed onto Jamili. Good crowd control. They get the sap though. No, Blessing and Protection on the sap into a Garrote. They spell steal the Blessing and Protection into a Garrote, into a Poly, into a Hammer of Justice. No way. Gorecki uses every man for himself, breaks out of the stun. He gets interrupted. The crowd control just never ends. But still, Space Station Gaming, they managed to hold on. They cannot get out of the blind. He used every man for himself. And Smexen uses the Astral Shift. Is there anything else? A full polymorph? No, finally. The crowd control ends in Space Station Gaming.
Are you sure it ends?
Full Ring of Frost!
Hey, another polymorph. They could swap to Gorecki right here if they wanted to in the next stunlock. A Kidney Hodge or a Hodge Kidney. Korlik locked in a stun. Space Station Gaming launching a counterattack, but Jamili pre-temp shield. It doesn't even look like it matters. This is insane damage coming out from Space Station Gaming. Korlik has to respect it, trinket, and trade out the sacrifice. How on earth is Smexen alive right now? I mean, that should have been game over for like a minute straight. I was counting that game as done. He stays in it, and remember, they're trying to qualify to the finals for a massive chance at huge prize money. They have to beat Charlotte Phoenix in this series. They have to win 3 games in a row. Smexen just had, I don't know how many Guardian Angels that was, sitting behind his shoulder to keep him alive throughout that onslaught, but now it's happening, and again, Gorecki's caught in a polymorph. Smexen pops that stone form, trying to reduce some damage onto himself. They need to break up the chain. They win share the polymorph. They buy time for Gorecki to get out of crowd control. He needs to go for a Divine Favor heal, but maybe he's a bit worried about getting Spell Steal counterspelled. Smoke Bomb Kidney shot by Nick. Jamili looking for polymorphs. Ring of Peace, bounce Nick away for a moment. Smexen stable throughout that Smoke Bomb, a bit surprising. Korlik, he's down at half health from a result of that sacrifice. He still hasn't actually even topped himself off. Now getting a Holy Light. The teams are evening out, though, in terms of defense at this point, and Space Station Gaming, I would say, despite how crazy and hectic that was, are in a position where they can still win.
Yeah, it's not looking bad for them right now. They had that really close call, but a few blessings from the Zoff later, and Gorecki's bubble is almost back off cooldown. Nick in a leg sweep, taking fat damage here, but Korlik is there, backing him up. Another blink counterspell secured by Jamil. They got the kidney shot, the grapple weapon coming through, and Gorecki activating that Vitality Conduit while he's kicked on cast, because his cast school is holy and the Vitality Conduit is nature, so he's going to trigger out the blind into a Hammer of Justice. This could be the Divine Shield straight up. Korlik is there with the blind. Chun there though, intercepts it. Nick's looking for the sap, but he can't find it. Ja gets the polymorph, but Smexen and Chun-Li expertly reposition and bomb out their own heals on those hybrid classes, and Smexen is going to be completely fine. Another setup being survived here by Space Station Gaming. Excellent defense from them, but they need to try to find one of these pushes onto Nick to actually force out, trinket, sacrifice, bubble, these kind of cooldowns. Their offense, it hasn't looked, as crisp as we usually see it. Now they're going for another push onto Nick, but I don't think they have any crowd control. Smexen just using this big, beautiful map to reposition far away from this rogue mage and just get distance.
Yeah, trying to create distance. Big damage onto Jamili. Can they force the cauterize? It would be big. Unfortunately, cannot. Once again, they're trying to kill through the heals of Korlik, and that is not an easy thing to do. Death from above now, coming in from Nick onto Smexen. He gets Hammer of Justice behind the pillar. Korlik not there to dispel it, so Smexen's able to get a little bit of additional pressure for his team. Nick immediately gets topped off. Chun-Li coming with the Ride the Wind to free Smexen from some of the snares that Nick has available, and as a result, Smexen and Gorecki able to reposition behind the pillar. 25% dampening at this point of the game. Korlik still at 50% mana. Blinding Light does come in, and they're going for Chun-Li. Sacrifice trades. And Gorecki trade out the Divine Shield and the sacrifice there. They must have been really scared that was only the combustion, and now Space Station Gaming, they're in a lot of trouble. I feel like that might have been an overreaction there by Gorecki.
I feel like you go on Gorecki at this point if you're Charlotte Phoenix. If you can manage to go in the next 14 seconds, he's got no way to escape a stun. They're going after Jamili right now. Korlik into paralyze. Nice counter assault here by Space Station. Korlik denies it with his Gladiator's Medallion and Sacrifice, and Gorecki knows he could be a target. He's running very far away from the fight. Jamili's chasing him. Korlik's on the left, Jamili on the right, Nick on the right. They're surrounding Gorecki. They go for a blind. They're baiting the trinket. If he trinkets this, I think they'll swap to him. He's trying to hold on to the trinket as long as he can. Will he get away with this hold? Everyone on his team is in crowd control. It's 3 versus 1. I'm not sure Astral Shift will be enough here at 31% dampening. Smexon ducking into Ghost, so popping the stone form, removing the bleeds. They sap after the ring. And is Gorecki going to get away without trinketing here? Sap into Sap, is into a Garrote, into a Hammer. Is he really going to get away without trinketing here? It's match point, and their qualifications are on the line, and he does. He gets away with not having to trade the Gladiator's medallion. Vitality Conduit stabilizes Smexon, and they're only 5.5 minutes away from that 16-minute win condition.
Yeah, 5.5 more minutes of heart attacks for Chun-Li, Smexon, and Gorecki, but right now they are looking fine. They have some cooldowns left in their arsenal, and they're looking to get aggressive here. Nice paralyze onto Korlik, Ja with a nice temporal shield. Oh, smoke bomb onto Chun-Li, Sap onto Gorecki when he enters the smoke bomb. Chun has to trade out his touch of karma, but he gets bopped off immediately. Nick is all over him. They don't have any more crowd control. Gorecki leaves the CC chain, and now he gets Nova out of line. Chun is finally in his line of sight. He has the Avenging Wrath. He's gonna have to cast though. It looks like Chun might just fall. Smexon gets counterspelled. Gorecki trying to do what he can. He gets kidney shot for CC. He trinkets out of the kidney. He gets dispel on his divine favor. Chun doing what he can to kite. The Battle Master drops there for him. Takes massive damage. So does Ja though. He needs to be careful. Korlik and a Hammer of Justice. Trinketing out of that one. Racial. Full ring of Frost Snipe by Jamili. And that is going to be the game. Charlotte Phoenix takes it 3-0. They don't need to kill DC players. They can just win like men, I guess. But still, very nice setup here coming out of them there at the end. Excellent snipe with that invisible ring from Ja as well.
Oh, that Ring of Frost was so nice. It was just a Hail Mary. He just schlopped it around the corner, and basically, at that point, Gorecki had no... He literally just slopped it on the ground, and Gorecki's like, well, I either run into this and try to get some healing out, or I'm not going to have time to keep... It was kind of like a check situation. It was actually really nicely done. Charlotte Phoenix playing the Rogue Mage Paladin beautifully from start to finish in all of these games. Their crowd control, their burst damage, everything was on point. And unfortunately for Spacestation Gaming, that I think that shatters their dreams of making it into that top 4. They had such a great season, but it just wasn't enough at the end of the day.